everyone, it's Adam here. Someone asked me to put the 750GS on the Abba stand, and it's actually great timing because we're about to do a oil change and other just general maintenance stuff on Heather's GS. So let's drop this down. I'm going to go through the whole thing. I'll speed it up. So what I'll do is I'll do a 20x for this. So if you want to do 0.25 on your YouTube playback settings, you'll be able to actually watch this in real time if you're Okay, so now that we're in place, we've got the fit kit number 109. The big side goes on the right-hand side, and the tiny side goes on the left. I want to make a notice, this is a low F750, so you need to drop this all the way to the ground, which is actually not possible if this is in the way, because this won't drop past the black bar here. And so we're just going to basically unscrew this and pull the surface thing out. You will need this, though, to make the bike go up evenly. It's just you have to remove that to get low enough. So now we're just going to turn this guy here and drop that to the ground. And now before we go over to the bike, you're going to grab your little adapter for the left-hand swing arm and put that in here. And then your right-hand adapter is going to go on the right-hand side. And this just hangs out, but keep it handy because you're going to need it whenever you screw this in. All right, so now I'm going to go over to the bike. The side stand can't be deployed when you're doing this. It gets in the way. So you're going to basically balance this in the middle, deploy the side stand, and then you're going to hold this. Sometimes it helps to have a friend, obviously. You're going to get this right in there. Now I'm going to push this up and get that there. So now we've now we have the bike at least on its halfway up. So at this point you gotta be fancy. You gotta basically hold this and kind of walk the way around the bike as if you're practicing for balancing exercise. And I'm going to the other side over here. And now you see this other red thing is now exposed to me down here on the ground. So I can now slide this in. And there's another hole right there that if I clear the foot peg. So now we're just going to get this guy lined up in that hole right there. Make sure that's snug. And then you can tighten down these lower things. There's that, plus your 6mm Allen as your safety. Okay. And then the last thing you're going to do is, because you're going to have a little bit of slack in here, turn this and that gets everything super snug. Now we can let go. And now it's being held by the Abba stand completely. So now I go to the other side up here. Make sure your lever here is tight, and then you just start pumping. Now what's going to happen, you'll notice the back of the bike's going to come off the ground. As soon as you have full line of sight of this red square right here, you're going to go ahead and slide this guy back into place, because now you're going to need it. All right, so now that we have the strap in, you can see here, we've got this tightened right here. This is tightened in. Ignore the tool thing. And now we can just push this straight up. So everything there is fine. That's secure. And now we've got it about a foot off the ground. Now you can actually freely move it around. We're not going to do that though. We're actually going to be moving it back here on the corner. So let's back up. I like moving it with it low on the ground because the center of gravity is a little bit lower. And also gives me a chance to make sure that everything is good and secure. So now, as you can see, we've done it took about 15 minutes to go from this one to this one. It's a little longer than I actually thought it would take, but it's purely because I have very limited space in here. It's not a very big area to work in. So if I had more space, this would have been a lot faster. So let's go over the sort of high level if you're doing this the first time to an F750GS. And actually I might put this at the very beginning. So here's your right-hand side, which is the thicker adapter piece of the 109 kit. This goes in. You make sure that you have these two tightened down. This one and the M6 are tightened down. This gets screwed in. You're going to need to put this up in order to get it to work, especially if you're on an F750 low. Also, if you're on a low, in order to get this piece, or this piece, low enough to mate with the two sides of the swing arm, you're going to need to remove that rear, I keep calling it a trailing arm, but it's kind of what it is. This thing right here, this long thing that disconnects from a tourney hickamadoo right there, that has to come off. So that way you can get this whole beast low enough, lower than that T sticking out this direction, the black bar, in order to get this in here. So there's your smaller end cap right there. They both marry up. After they both marry up, you or a friend can hold the bike upright, turn this guy tight, then you go around while your friend's still holding it and close the valve back there, give it a couple of pumps. Then you can reinsert this arm if you're going to be lifting the bike up horizontally with the little strap back there, and then up to the top. And once you're at the desired level, remember it is a pump, so you're going to want to grab your key and stick it in one of these holes, and then you can let go of the pressure on the valve to make sure it's all held with hardware versus the pump. Then you're done. You're ready to do all your maintenance. It's great for an F750 low because you can actually like do an oil change now. It's a cool little contraption. It obviously holds the 670-pound GS perfectly, and of course then it holds the sub 500-pound 750 GS perfectly. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And I wasn't planning on making this into a video, but someone requested it, so I hope it's helpful to someone. Enjoy.